All gas, no
And
break. Welcome to the show. Just Chris and Mo on this one. Justin is doubtful to Justin is doubtful to appear on this podcast due to other work-related obligations. So he will not be joining us to discuss the most recent events to transpire with the New York Jets. The Jets lose a stinker in London. They lose 23-17 in a game where they fell behind early and ultimately were unable to dig themselves out of a hole. Then then about not even 48 hours later, basically right as soon as they got off the plane, Woody Johnson called Robert Saleh into his office and let him know that he was fired. So Robert Saleh is out. He is no longer head coach of the New York Jets, and the interim head coach will now be Jeff Ulbrich, defensive coordinator. Got promoted to head coach. Um, kind of a shocking development. I know that a lot of fans, myself included, have been calling for the firing of Saleh for a while now. And I didn't, I thought there was a possibility that he could get fired like in season, which is something that Woody Johnson's never done, and it's only happened 3 times in the entire. It's only or 2 times prior to this. It's happened in the history of the Jets franchise, but ultimately, I think it was something that it makes sense. It does make sense to do now. Rip the Band-Aid off. You admit that this guy is not the guy that's going to take you where you need to go. It's very clear that the team needed some sort of a spark. It doesn't solve all the problems that they have, but I think that it was a necessary move and kind of a wake up call to the entire organization, top to bottom. And I think that usually when a coach is like when it seems like it's inevitable that a head coach for the Jets is going to get fired, usually we have to wait till the end of the year, and we have to wait till Black Monday to get that notification or to get that news. But Woody decided, I guess, since it's it's an all-in year and the season's not lost yet, but a couple more losses, and it very well could be. So Woody Johnson decided to pull the plug and make this move early. So Mo, what are your thoughts on everything that's transpired? I guess the past 48 hours or so with the Jets.
I wanted him to get fired since the Broncos game.
I
And
wanted him to get
I
fired
mean,
last
I never
year.
thought it would happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, shit. I figured that wasn't going to happen because they had Aaron Rodgers back, but uh, yeah. Ever since, well, I was hoping it would happen, but I figured it wouldn't because he never had fired anyone during season, and I thought it was just gonna be like, okay, wait out the whole season just to fire him and to find somebody else. But I mean, it's kind of like a ballsy move for Woody Johnson because I feel like he realizes, okay, we're not gonna have this roster next year, and it's not gonna be the same one. Like for particular pieces on the team. So he decided, all right, well, if I need to make a move, I need to make the move now. And I feel like this is just one piece out of the puzzles that needs to be changed. And
yeah.
I don't know if he's done or not. So everyone's like, oh, why don't you fire this? Why don't you fire like Hackett and all this shit? Uh, what makes you think like he's not going to? Just because he's buddy buddy with Aaron Rodgers, who gives a shit? They
Yeah,
come as a
apparently.
package deal. Okay, who's paying? Who's paying you? Who's paying you?
Yeah,
You
and
want to retire?
apparently,
Fine, fuck it. I mean,
yeah,
if
yeah.
that's
At
the
this
case,
point, I
if you
mean,
want to win, really, if you really want to win, then put the pieces around you to win. I think the next piece should be the offensive line coordinator, Keith Carter.
yeah,
That should
yeah.
get
Keith
canned
Carter. Yeah,
because
Keith Carter should go.
clearly
He's
he didn't work with
terrible.
Titans, and they clearly got Mike Vrabel fired. So I don't know why they keep this guy here and Todd Downing on top of it.
Yeah, and like the
So
offensive
I
line
mean,
that was supposed to be good, our offensive line does not look that good. They're kind of giving up. They're kind of giving up way too many
and
hits to
and
Rodgers.
see the talent is there. The talent is there. It's just the coaching that's not helping. And
Yeah, the
I think
coaching is holding the
I
team
think the
back.
reason why is because those two aspects they're not helping Hackett either.
Yeah, so I mean, like,
I'm not trying to like save Hackett's ass or anything like that
no,
because his plays have been vanilla the whole fucking season. Even though he's tried to be creative a couple times, it's not enough. And you can clearly see it because one, Rogers is getting frustrated, and you're supposed to be his guy. So I mean, what does that tell you? Like, is he really
yeah, I
his
don't know.
guy?
It tells me,
I'm still trying to understand why Aaron Rodgers loves this guy so much when he fucking
yeah, like,
sucks.
yeah, like clearly there were times, even last year, there were times where when Rodgers wasn't playing, where he was like visibly frustrated with the play call, or like on that 4th and 2 where many people believe they should have kicked the field goal because it would have been a much needed 3 points, and it would have been a different ball game if they did kick that field goal. It would
Yeah,
have changed a lot of things down the
that
stretch,
was
and
two
who knows
times.
what could have
It was
happened.
two
But
times they could have gotten 2 field goals.
yeah, yeah, and they lost by 6 points. So that and the Rodgers pick six were really the difference in the game. And I mean, ultimately, I think that the last game was kind of on Aaron Rodgers more than anyone else, if we're being honest. Like I
Yeah,
put,
no, it was. It was.
but ultimately, I think this was a necessary move and a necessary change. I mean, under Saleh, the Jets have just been way too undisciplined, and they've come out flat and come out slow way too many times. Like I remember when we were even doing the schedule predictions, like when the schedule dropped, like back in May. And this was before like Sam Darnold had his resurgence, and before we really knew anything about anything as far as like how the season was gonna unfold. I said that game was gonna be a loss because I didn't trust our coaching staff to be able to handle London well, because they didn't do it the last time, and it didn't look like they learned a whole lot from this time. It was kind of the same game all over again, and it kind of looked like a Zach Wilson led offense with Aaron Rodgers.
Same shit. Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty much the same shit where they fall behind early, they sleepwalk through basically almost the entire first half of the game, and then they kind of rally and come back, but they ultimately fall short and lose in what was a game that they should have won. And they really, after losing to Denver, you kind of needed to win that game, even though you weren't necessarily supposed to, because you weren't supposed to lose to Denver, even though Denver might be better than people thought they were. But you can't lose.
Yeah.
You can't lose that.
I
You
think
can't
well,
lose either of those games. Or you couldn't lose. You had to win one of
yeah,
those games at
no.
least, and to lose both of them, it puts you in
No,
a
they
it puts
had
you
to
in a
win
tough
both of those
position.
games. And Denver,
And
like their defense is good. Their defense is
yeah,
good.
they have a
It's
great
just,
defense.
I mean, obviously it was a shitty game, but I hate when people complain, oh, it was the rain. Well, both teams had to deal with the rain.
Yeah, both teams had
I
to
don't
play in
care.
the rain. Both teams
Dude,
are,
it's just
that's
look,
football.
they had the chance to score. They didn't do it. And
Yeah,
then
and
they had the chance to score a field goal. They didn't do it. So they
and
lost
both
that
teams
game
are like
on their own.
from both teams
And they
play
did the same
outdoors, and
shit
both
against
teams.
Minnesota. Because Sam
Yeah,
Darnold played like ass that whole game.
yeah, he was not good.
And
Like
you
I
know what?
joke,
Even it pisses me off even more because look at San Francisco.
yeah, they don't look good either. That loss looks kind of worse now. You know, maybe teams have kind of figured out San Fran, or maybe they're having a little bit of
I
like a
guess.
losing the Super Bowl hangover, because that tends to happen a lot to the team that
I
loses the
mean,
Super Bowl where they're not as good the following year.
they have. I mean, yeah, 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 and they're missing players, but I mean, still, when we played them, they were missing those same players. So there's
Yeah,
no excuse.
they were missing those same players, and we couldn't stop a nosebleed against them. That was probably the worst game our defense had, like under the Saleh and Ulbrich era. Yeah, like ultimately just too many penalties and too many slow starts, like under Robert
Yeah,
Saleh. They always come out
I
flat,
mean,
like when they have extended time to prepare for a game. And you just always felt like with Saleh, it just always felt like you were at a disadvantage with him as the coach going into a game. Like it felt like when you were going into a game where, like, if we were the more talented team and we are playing like an inferior opponent, it was like, all right, we would either blow them out or we would like barely win. Like like Tennessee, clearly an inferior team.
barely
We
won.
had to grind out a win against
Yeah,
them, and then we beat the brakes off of New England, who's also clearly inferior, and they're I believe they're switching to
hmm
Drake May now. But like
which is the
in
dumbest shit
these
ever.
other
But
games
yeah,
where, like, in these other games where, Denver was like a lesser opponent that you lost to. I would say if you look at like if you look at this Minnesota game, it's like the talent, I would say, is fairly even on both teams. Like, the Vikings probably have more talent on offense,
yeah,
and the Jets probably have more talent on defense.
hmm
But it just always feels like when you're playing a team that's like, around the same level as talent as you, like that you're gonna lose because Salah is gonna get out coached. It's like you can't really trust Salah to, go and like out coach like Andy Reid or like even Mike McDaniels. And I don't think Mike McDaniels is a good coach, but every time the Jets play the Dolphins, Mike McDaniels coaches circles around Salah. So and
hmm
now you got the Bills and the
right,
Steelers
because
coming out,
he's
and
experienced Salah's defense before.
yeah, and now you got the Bills and the Steelers coming up, and those are both teams that those are both teams with superior coaching to Robert Saleh. So I think it was the right move, and even though the timing was surprising, like the more I think about it, the more I do think it was the right time. Because I mean, say you don't fire him and you wait till the Bills game. The Bills game is on a Monday night, so then what? You're gonna fire him on a short week and give Jeff Ulbrich a
Yeah,
short week to prepare, and then if you lose that game, then you know, and then if you lose the Steelers game, you're 2-5, and the season's basically over anyway. So like, what's the point at that point? So I think that doing this now, when you're still very much, you're still very much alive. Like, what's really crazy about this whole thing is, despite like how despite how bad everything's been, despite how bad like most of the game was on Sunday, and despite firing your coach and all the drama and disarray, just another typical day with the New York Jets. Despite all of that, you have the chance to go into Buffalo, or not go into Buffalo, but host Buffalo. And if you win that game, you're in first place in the AFC East. So, yeah, I think this team needed a spark, and I think it was the
yeah,
right time to do it.
yeah. I think so because one, at least it gives them time to prepare, and even now, because originally, like I thought this was going to be the day for the Devontae Adams trade, and I'm waiting for it. Meanwhile, we all get different news, and it's like, okay, what the fuck just happened? So I don't know if it's like delaying it, but I mean, at this point, you need to sign both Hassan Reddick and Devontae Adams because if you're going in like this, you need to make a statement and then just sign both. I don't care where you're going to find the money from, but you need to make it work Joe Douglas
Yeah,
needs to make it work. I don't care. Somebody
yeah.
does.
Woody needs to open the checkbook, and Joe Douglas needs to get it done.
Because you can't have one edge rusher working because Jermaine Johnson's hurt. Yeah, Jermaine Johnson's hurt, and you only have Will McDonald. The only one that's really actually trying. The only edge rushers that's capable of getting sacks right now, and Michael Clemens getting that one lucky sack yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah,
You need somebody that's like a finisher, and Hassan Reddick, he's not going to come in like just like blaze of glory and just start tearing it up. But I mean, it's going to take him a couple weeks because he hasn't done shit. And I mean, Devontae Adams, who knows if he's actually hurt or if he's not? I don't know. But I'm quotation marks on Devontae Adams' hamstring. But either way, I feel like as soon as he gets that confidence where he's like, okay, I'm going to be playing with Aaron Rodgers again, he won't care. And he's just going to want to play. And I
yeah,
think if we sign him by tonight or tomorrow, like afternoon or something, he'll play Monday.
yeah. If you get that trade done tomorrow,
I think he will.
there's like 3 days of practice and preparation, which should be enough time for him and Aaron, considering the connection that they have. So yeah, I'd say the sooner they get that done, the better. There was a time during the game where I went to a pretty dark place where I was like, let's not even trade
Sooner
for
it happens, a better
Devontae.
deal.
Let's just keep our picks and just rebuild, because that kind of feels like what we're what we're heading for. So I mean, yeah, the sooner they could get that done, the better off we'd be. Like, I don't know if we had the money for both of them, like for both Hassan and Devontae. I'm sure there's restructuring and cap gymnastics that could be done to make it work. But yeah, I mean, Woody Johnson apparently, like on Woody Johnson's conference call, he basically told Hassan
I
Reddick to like
mean, that's
drive up on 95 and to come to One Jets Drive, and that he would get him an escort into the building. Maybe
bring
it's the
your
same
ass here.
security team. Maybe it's the same security team that allegedly escorted Robert Saleh out of the Jets building after he got fired, which there seem to be conflicting reports on whether or not that actually happened. And we lost Mo. I thought that hurricane was going the other way, but apparently Mo is in the Matrix now. But yeah, I mean, if you're the Jets, like, you already played your hand. You made you're back. But yeah, no, like if you're the Jets, like you already played your hand. You ripped the Band-Aid off and you fired Saleh, which and trading for Aaron Rodgers, like these were all moves that were made in desperation. So at this point, like there should be no half measures. Like, just if you want to go all in, you gotta truly go all in. You can't be like, ripping Band-Aids and selling your soul for certain things, and then with like other things like half measuring it. You have to go, you have to either be all the way in or all the way out. Since you
Right.
seem to be all
No,
the
I
way
agree.
in, it
100%.
makes sense to trade. It does make sense to trade for Devontae Adams. Like, if anything, maybe this gives the Raiders more leverage in the trade. At this point, I don't really care. I don't really care about leverage. If they want a second round pick, give it to them. And honestly, like if you're Joe Douglas, like, that might not be your pick either, because they just fired Saleh, and if the things don't improve, you're not going to be far behind. Because if the Jets have another 7-10 season, there's really no reason to allow Joe Douglas to go out and hire another head coach, or to really have his hands like on the on the roster anymore. I don't really care like
Yeah,
what he did in 2022.
I'm gonna join the podcast.
You're rejoining? All right. Mo is rejoining. But yeah, it's like I at this point with Joe Douglas, like his job isn't. I don't think his job is exactly safe in this. Obviously Saleh was like the easy target, and Joe Douglas kind of goes under the radar with like all the problems that the Jets have. But the uncomfortable reality is that some of the talent that that Jets fans clamor over, that Joe Douglas drafted or brought in here, a lot of it's overrated. Like Brees Hall, he looks. I don't know what's wrong with Brees Hall, but he looks disengaged, and he's been booty cheeks for a couple of weeks now. So I mean, yeah, there's something going on there with Brees. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's just not being used correctly by the coaches, or what the problem is. I don't know what the problem is there. Garrett Wilson, it seemed like it took a few weeks for him to get going. And, Sunday's game, I would say if there's one positive to take away from Sunday's game, is that Garrett Wilson did ball out, especially in the second half. Him and Rodgers didn't seem totally in sync at the beginning of the game, but as the game went on, it seemed that him and Garrett were more and more on the same page. It's just like whenever Garrett's covered, there's really like no one else that Rodgers can really trust. Like Lazard is still a drop machine. And yeah, I don't know what his trust level is in Mike Williams right now. But welcome back.
What were you just talking about, Mike Williams?
I was talking about a variety of things, but basically what I was saying is that Joe Douglas, like his job should not be as safe as like he shouldn't be far behind if things don't improve this year and they don't make the playoffs. Like he should be fired too.
So how deep does it go? How far do you think it needs to go before he gets fired?
Well, I don't think he'll get fired in season like Saleh did, but I think at the end of the season, if
right, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the season,
what, like how bad do we have to be, or for Douglas to get
fired? How far? If we do make the playoffs and like win a game, do you think Joe Douglas should be fired?
No, I think if we make the playoffs and win a game, I think Joe Douglas keeps his job, and I think Ulbrich would be hired on like as the new head coach.
Okay, and I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah. Like basically, this is like a 12-game audition for Jeff Ulbrich to be a head coach in the NFL, whether it's with the Jets or somewhere else. It's probably Jets or nowhere for him.
I think Hackett needs to go, even though I think him and Rodgers are a package deal. But I mean, fuck it, who cares? Who knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to do after the season?
Yeah, I mean, by the way he's been playing, like it wouldn't be surprising it wouldn't be all that surprising if Rodgers retired after this year with the way he has been playing. Because I mean, I don't want to jump to the conclusion that he's washed. I don't necessarily think it's that. Obviously,
I don't think so. I think the offensive line just been playing like shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have, because Brees Hall can't even get any runs in. He's like the 34th in rushing throughout the whole NFL.
Braylon Allen got stuffed at the line, like on that 4th and 2 where they went for it. Like I was actually okay with them going for it because, like, at the time when I was watching the game and they got stopped, I literally like immediately said, like, "Go for it, you cowards!" And then they get stopped. So I didn't have an issue with the decision to go for it, even though, like, in hindsight, a field goal would have made a big difference there, and would have made it a totally different game. And like we probably don't even lose if we kick a field goal there because we're playing for 3 at the end of the game instead of 6, so we're not Rodgers might not throw that interception and force that ball to Mike Williams. But I don't know what it is about like these quarterbacks where even if it's like it could be Hall of Fame, it could be Aaron Rodgers, who has like the lowest interception rate in NFL history, but once they put on the green and white, they just start making dumb decisions, like just airmailing
It's the
footballs to the
curse.
other team. You know, like
The curse is alive. I'm telling you.
yeah, the curse is alive. The curse never died. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Hackett needs to go as well. Like Robert Saleh is only part of the problem, and firing him
Yeah.
doesn't solve everything. But that also doesn't mean that it was the wrong move to fire him.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, it was like a partial problem to
yeah, I
what
mean,
needed to be solved.
yeah, I watched Ulbricht's press conference today, and he said that he said that he doesn't anticipate any changes on the offensive side of the ball, but
That's a crock of
who
shit.
knows at this point? Like that could just be coach speak, or that could just be But he did say
I don't believe it.
they were gonna do a deep dive and assess everything over the next 36 hours. And if you're doing a deep dive on this team and what's wrong,
Oh, I
I
don't think
don't know
Ulbricht's that
how.
dumb. I don't think
No, I don't
Ulbricht's
think
that
so either.
dumb.
I don't know how. I don't know
Like
how.
he's gonna make
Uh,
it his point to actually to make a change and actually improve something. I mean,
yeah,
look, it goes to this point where it's like, okay, you have Keith Carter, you have Todd Downing, you have Nathaniel Hackett. It's like, all right, what do we need to improve? What changes do we need to make? Do we need help here? Like play calling. What's the play calling like? Are we going to make any creativity making play calls? Are we going to make it a vanilla offense like we have been the past 5 weeks? I mean, what else? What else do you need? Like, you can't just keep doing the same shit all the time. Where it's like, okay, Garrett Wilson's covered up on a number one cornerback, and you can't get him the ball. Justin Jefferson was getting the ball on Sauce all day.
yeah.
And Sauce is considerably a top five corner in the league. So why is it
I
such
don't know
a
if he is
hassle
anymore.
to get the fucking ball to Garrett Wilson?
Yeah. Get it. Like going up against the CB1 should not be an excuse. If you're truly,
No,
if you're truly a wide receiver one, like yeah, you like an elite corner might give you a hard time, but like the Vikings don't have any elite corners, and I actually thought that if there was any positive to take away from the past game, like I would say that it was the fact that Garrett Wilson like started looking good, and like that he finally him and it looked like him and Aaron were finally starting to like build some chemistry, like especially in the second half. Like that game
yeah,
could have even been better. Like they started out slow, but like I thought that as the game went on, like Garrett Wilson looked better and better, and that would probably be like the one positive takeaway, other than like the defense keeping them in the game.
yeah.
Honestly, Sauce is. I don't know where Sauce would rank if you're talking about top five, top corners in the league, like through this season so far. Like
Sauce
I
has been
say,
asked.
I'd say the top two corners in the league right now are Patrick Surtain and DJ Reed. I was wrong about DJ Reed. I'm gonna say that
Oh,
right.
where you really didn't like DJ Reed that much?
Not that I didn't like him. Like I liked him and thought he was. I liked him and always thought he was good. But I thought that I thought he was
He
going to
can
take.
be replaced.
I thought he could be replaced, and I thought that he was going to take. Like I
Okay,
thought that he was going to take a step back this
step
year,
back. Yeah,
and that and I figured that this was going to be his
yeah.
last year with the
DJ
Jets.
Reed was actually really good the past 2 games.
Yeah. Like he did better against Justin Jefferson than Sauce did,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
maybe why.
easily.
Which is maybe why the coaching staff didn't let Sauce travel, even though they've been talking about doing that. I don't
Yeah,
think they were ever going to let Sauce travel. I think that was just
no.
a bunch of nonsense. Like just
Yeah, it was just bullshit just to
you
get
know,
people excited. But I think the way they were running the defense was fine. I
yeah,
mean, Sauce. I
defense
mean,
had
it
the
is what
problem.
it is with him. But I mean, at this point, it's like, all right, you have your two corners. Just play them like it is, and your defense has been doing good the past 2 years. So just run it as usual, and you shouldn't have no issues. But here's the thing: do you think Ulbrich is still going to be calling plays on defense, or do you think he's going to be more focused as a head coach?
That seems like it's TBD because they actually asked him about that in the press conference, and he didn't really give much of an answer. He was basically like,
Right.
"Listen, I
That's
got
why
hired."
I'm asking you. I'm not asking what they said.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to call plays at least at first. I think he'll try because who else is really
Okay.
there to call
I
defense?
mean, the only person I can think of is Tony Oden.
Yeah, and has he ever done that before? Like, does he have that experience?
I mean, I think he's worked up his way to actually do it. I mean, he's been there for how long?
I would
Like 4 years.
if I was Jeff Ulbrich, I would try to continue calling the plays on defense as head coach. And if it ends up being too much or he's like unable to like if that's too much and he's unable to like be a head coach, which I think is like, that was kind of like Saleh's
Because I
issue
mean,
or one
yeah,
of Saleh's many issues, then he should pass the responsibility along to someone else. But because because how good the defense is, like I wouldn't want to like change the play caller on that side of the ball, because
yeah.
the defense is like not the problem, and they've been pitching shutout. They've been pitching shutouts like to a certain point. Like they'll start out slow, but then like they'll
Right.
they'll keep us in the game to
Yeah.
a point where we can
And
get
then
back into it.
fucking Brandon Eccles, man, I don't know, man. I think he needs to start at like safety
Nickel
or
or
something.
something. Yeah, he needs to be on the field more because anytime he's on the field, he always makes
He,
plays and he
he
actually holds
does.
on to the football when it's thrown to him.
Yeah.
Sauce only caught the ball when Sauce was only able to catch the ball when it was out of bounds. Like you knew Sam Darnold was going to give you a gift at some point in this game, and he gave multiple gifts. And
He gave
honestly,
you more than one. Yes.
he gave you multiple gifts. And for Sauce to drop that interception, like, come on, man, you got to do better. If you're if you're this if you're aspiring to be like a top five, if you're aspiring to be like the highest paid corner in the league, I know like they say like, oh, they play defense for a reason. Like if they had better hands, they'd be receivers, but you got to catch that ball. Like, when it's thrown right to you, you got to.
They're calling Minnesota a juggernaut right now, which is insane to me because I see this like that one year where I'm pretty sure Kirk Cousins was the quarterback where Minnesota was just winning games barely, and then they got to the playoffs and lost to the Giants. I feel
Yeah,
like this is the same exact team.
yeah, it's definitely similar. I feel like because like the Jets should have won that game. They almost blew that game to the Packers. So they're one of the final two undefeated teams standing. But the cracks
it's really
the
the Chiefs
cracks
and
are
even the Chiefs too.
yeah the cracks are starting to show. Like it's kind of like last year where really no one's like all that good, and like here we are at 2-3, and we're very much
And and
alive because of how mid the AFC is.
yeah, which is insane. And what's crazy is like everyone was saying how like the AFC is like a juggernaut. There's so many good teams. No,
there are
that's
not.
a bunch of crock of shit. It's the NFC.
Yeah, no,
The NFC has a bunch of teams. Because there's like 5 teams that you did not expect to be like in the top 5.
Yeah, the NFC is way stronger looking now, like with the emergence of Rodgers and Jaden Daniels. The Bears look like they're kind of getting their shit together. The Packers are still good. They got Jordan Love back. There's multiple good teams in there's multiple good teams in the NFC South. Like pretty much every team except the Panthers in the NFC South, you could make a case for. Although the Saints have like fallen off.
Yeah, the Saints have been falling off. Yeah,
I'd say
Falcons look really good.
The only weak point of the NFC now is the NFC West. Like I feel like that division's like going to be more interesting than anticipated, just because like the 49ers are like are like not as good as people expected. Like the Cardinals are hanging around, and the Seahawks are maybe doing better than people expected, but they've also come back down to earth. So that's really the only division you look at and think like, wow, that's a shitty division. Like right now, and like people thought like the AFC East was going to be like one of the tougher divisions in football, or the AFC North,
Yeah.
but right now it looks like the AFC East and the AFC North are really just going to be 2-team races. I mean, we'll see how Miami does when if and when Tua comes back. I mean, I'm kind of annoyed that they won that game. I kind of wanted Miami to get buried more since we have the win in hand against New England already anyway. And
Right.
yeah, it looks like the AFC North is going to be between the Steelers and Ravens. Texans basically already won the AFC South with a negative 12-point differential.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chiefs basically have already won the AFC West. So, but yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk. Like I like one thing I've heard people say, as far as like the Jets and the AFC East, and how like it's the Bills division until it's not. Well, how about right now?
Right.
How about this week? Like this seems like a perfect opportunity to go and take it
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a move that, I mean, we've never matched up bad against Buffalo, so
Yeah, we
I don't
always we
know.
always win. We always win at home against the Bills with
Mhm.
Saleh as our coach, and with far worse quarterbacks than Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers. I
and
mean,
I mean, at this point, I don't even know if that matters. But
yeah, and
it's almost like,
Josh Allen got well, I guess they said it wasn't a concussion, but Josh Allen definitely got banged
mhm,
up in that game.
mhm. And that's what, 2 losses in a row from them.
Yeah, it's 2 losses in a row for the Bills. So, so both teams, I think, will go into that Monday night game with like a sense of. I think there's going to be like a sense of. I think there's going to be like a sense of desperation and a sense of like pissed offness from both teams. And all I know is that
Yeah,
the Jets better come out flying in that game. Like, because I
yeah,
think like
and
really Salah had a lot of issues. I'd say like at the top of his issues were, accountability, like holding players accountable. And I do
yeah.
wonder like how much Quincy Williams, saying what he said after the game. I wonder how much like that may have factored into Salah ultimately getting fired.
But I mean, not only that. I mean, holding coaches accountable.
Yeah,
Saleh
yeah,
never did that. And
yeah, yeah,
I don't know if you saw my tweet about it, where I was like, all right, Saleh never held any coaches accountable for anything, and
yeah,
it was always like, all right, we need to fix this. We need to figure it out. He would never figure it out. It would be the same thing every post game. It's like, all right, does this guy even know what the fuck he's doing?
yeah.
That's
No,
where I was just like, you know what? I'm out. I don't care. I don't care what happens. And this was after, I think, the Broncos game, where I was just like, you know what? You lost by 1 fucking point, and it shouldn't have got to that situation where they
no,
were
no.
in by losing by 1 fucking point.
Yeah, no, they should
You
have
know
been
what I
able
mean?
to win that game. They should have been able to win that game like 20-10 or something. Like
Yeah.
it should have never, or like 19-10. It should have never been like it should have never even come down to like the last 2 minutes. Like that's a game they should have
No.
been able to pull away from.
Yeah, because they should have easily scored a touchdown
That's some
and at least scored a field goal after that, before it got to that situation.
yeah. They should have had that touchdown in the second quarter when they got the pass interference on Alan Lazard in the end zone, and then they couldn't punch it in from the one because they kept giving it to Brees and not Braylon Allen. Although at this point, like neither of them can really get going. I'd say like the biggest concern I have right now with our offense is the fact that we're dead last in rushing offense, and to me that's like an enormous problem because think about it, even before, like when we got Rodgers, even before he got hurt or anything, we were always going to be a team that ran the ball more. Like we were always going to be a running team. And it was like, all right, we're going to run the ball down people's throats. But like we have Aaron Rodgers too. So like he can like, we were basically just asking Aaron Rodgers to like manage the game and like make more plays than like a Zach Wilson or someone like that could. And now you can't run the ball. And now, now you're in the situation where you got Rodgers, like, he's throwing like, way too many passes every game and he's running for his life. And like, I even like me and Paul were watching the game at a bar Sunday morning. And I even told him like, yeah, Rodgers' health is like not going to last. And then like a few plays later was where he got where he got hurt and like looked like he was in agonizing pain. And like when Rodgers tore his Achilles and like when Rodgers tore his Achilles and I was at the game, I was like super numb and everything. I was like dead inside. But like when I saw him like rolling around on the ground this time, I was like, it's like, all right, like I don't really give a shit like not that I don't give a shit, like obviously like hope he's okay and not hurt, but like from a standpoint of the football team, I was like, all right, I don't give a shit at this point. Like, just put Tyrod Taylor and let's see what he can do.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
But yeah, he threw 54 passes. Like that is
which is insane. And he completed like 26 of them.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, he was 29 for 54. So like,
29.
So he was just barely like over 50%.
That's not ideal.
But yeah, no, I mean you are right about the whole Saleh not holding anyone accountable, whether it's players or coaches. He definitely didn't hold coaches accountable. He didn't want to fire Mike LaFleur, which Mike LaFleur probably didn't deserve to get fired. Like
I don't think so, because it's Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson sucked either way.
Every other quarterback like was able to run his offense better. Mike White threw for 300 yards.
Scapegoat.
Josh Johnson threw for 300 yards the next week. Mike LaFleur was the scapegoat because Woody was pissed, and he was calling. He basically Woody was like, all right, like someone has to get fired for this because like we had a chance to make the playoffs, and if you look at that, we have
Justin's in.
Justin entered the fold.
I heard y'all briefly talking about Saleh. Like I joined maybe a minute ago.
Who?
Yeah, talking about what are your talking about Rodgers really and his injury. Rodgers was hurting the entire. It looked like he was hurting after his injury the entire game.
Yeah, I think he had an injury. I think he got hurt in the Denver game, and he did get hurt.
He did. Yeah, he did.
He's clearly been playing hurt, and he probably got hurt even worse.
But you know what's sad? I think truly pitiful is the fact that the Jets started rallying after he came back after the roughing the kicker penalty, and he came back into the game. Then our offense started clicking. That's fucking pitiful.
Yeah, it's like, oh, now you decide.
Yeah. Now they're like, oh shit, we're gonna have Tyrod Taylor. All right, let me actually do some work.
Yeah.
You know what's pitiful? You thought we would win.
Yeah, I honestly did think we were gonna win. I did. I truly did.
Yeah, so
not gonna lie, I did.
Did everybody fucking else.
I kind of tricked myself into thinking we were gonna win, and we should have won.
No. We honestly we should have won. There's no reason why we should have lost that game. Sam, the entire second half was ours to take. I don't understand how it went so wrong. I don't know if y'all put that on Saleh. I don't, because I think the offense has been run. I think the offense has been run by Hackett and Rodgers the entire season. So I don't see our offense changing with him being fired.
That's not what we put on Salah.
No, it's
not.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that this is like, I don't think this is like necessarily going to fix the offense. I think that
not at all.
Maybe the head coach being fired, maybe it gives like the whole team some more energy, because the Jets have, they always say like that the team always takes on like the personality or the energy of their head coach, and I think that's true for the Jets this year. Like they've had a problem with their energy where they start games out super slow and they're super disciplined. They're super undisciplined, rather.
Which is, I feel like that's not Salah though. I feel like Salah's you go get him right there, and then like as soon as the coin is tossed, they're out for blood. That's how I feel like Salah's mentality is.
He did have them playing very violent, but he had them playing very violent, but you have to, and like I like that they play violent, but you have to do it within the rules of the game.
Yeah.
And there was no.
See you tomorrow.
Saleh was always the problem with Saleh was like he was always trying to hide from like the realities. Like remember, like when the Jets were on Hard Knocks, like they wouldn't show players getting cut because like they didn't want to expose that. But that's like the reality of the game the business is that people get cut, but like they didn't want to show that. They only wanted to show people that were making the team. And like when he blamed the rain after losing to Denver, and then that made me think back to when Zach Wilson played like absolute shit in New England a couple of years ago, and he blamed the wind for that performance. And me, like connecting all the dots 2 years later, like what that tells me is that Robert Saleh basically instilled a culture of losing and excuse making in this team.
I
hate
that. I hate that, but you might be right.
I think
he might be. He is right.
I don't. Or what about the report that came out with the 30 anonymous sources or whatever it was that said basically that Saleh, like basically once Aaron Rodgers got hurt, Saleh was just like, all right, like how can we scrape out 7 wins so I can keep my job? Like, and
basically
like the whole woe is me attitude, like that was a big part of his problem. And also just no accountability for players or coaches. He didn't want to fire LaFleur. That was a Woody call. And he never wanted to make any changes as far as the play caller went, when things have clearly not been working on offense.
That's one thing I will agree 100%.
He never holds those coaches accountable. He never holds his coaches that he hired accountable.
Yeah. He never did. He never did. You're right.
He just wasn't it as a head coach.
No, because he didn't want to be that aggressor. He was wanting to be like the nice guy, the players that people you get along with me. But guess what? The players turned on him. He lost the locker room.
They definitely did. And I think part of it too was like over this offseason, like he kind of wanted to I feel like he kind of wanted to get some power back as like the head coach of the team. Like when he I think when that whole Rodgers Egypt trip happened in minicamp or whatever. I think that Saleh made it a point to be like, oh yeah, this is an unexcused absence, like, and he'll be fined like per the CBA or whatever, because like he didn't want it to seem like, oh, Rodgers is just doing whatever the fuck he wanted. He wanted,
but he is.
I'm the head coach. I'm the man in charge. So he wanted to get that perception back while also being like buddy with all the players and like being,
do y'all think the locker room really supports this decision?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it was solely a decision made by Woody. Like it doesn't really seem like he consulted with anybody before.
Like I think we're gonna face more backlash that the players still wanted him around. Like they understood they're not doing what they need to do.
but they still wanted him around.
Well, hopefully it's a wake up call for them then that like, oh shit, like we haven't been playing up to our capabilities, and that got our guy fired. If that is the case, I don't know. I kind of think that at least I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's 53 players on the roster. I'm sure they all.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you were to ask them all anonymously, they'd probably give you fairly different answers.
Yeah. No. That I don't doubt. I just think the general feeling was that most people did like him, not necessarily because he was a great, had a great mind as a coach, but he had that mentality, the drive, and I at least think he would drive. He would help other players.
He was a cheerleader.
Yes. Yeah. He was. Yeah. Honestly,
for the defense.
Yeah. He was a cheerleader for the offense and the defense, but for the defense, he at least had some insight.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
that 100%. Like he was a glorified head coach.
Hearing
what do you say, Mo?
I said he was a cheerleader for the defense. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, and like hearing some of the quotes from like players, like hearing what Quincy said after the game, like, he's like, yeah, people get tired of hearing the same shit all the time. Like, at some point, like,
I didn't even bother watching the post game. I didn't bother watching the post game. Sorry, I couldn't deal with it.
Oh yeah, I stopped watching Robert Saleh press conferences a long time ago, but that was a quote. That was a quote from Quincy Williams. So like, I feel like Quincy Williams is probably okay with the decision. I feel like Aaron Rodgers wasn't allegedly Aaron Rodgers was not consulted, which I don't necessarily believe.
I don't believe that at all.
I feel like he probably was consulted.
He definitely was, and he said, "Fire him. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, because I think like there are reports that like after that whole Egypt trip when Saleh kind of threw him under the bus, that like their relationship like kind of started to fracture a little bit.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I also saw something that Eric Mangini was saying that apparently like a loss in London would have like really pissed Woody Johnson off because like his like friends and people he knows when he was Trump's ambassador were like gonna be at the game.
Yo, it's terrible. I believe that. I believe that.
I kind of believe it too.
If he lost in New York, he'd still have a job.
Yeah, I could see it because the timing was definitely surprising.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to like, I wasn't expecting to like wake up and turn my phone on and like read that Saleh was fired.
And not only that, like two of the losses were close games where the offense that Saleh literally does nothing for, failed. The defense kept us in the goddamn game. I can't put that on Saleh. I really can't, because I never viewed him as helping the offense, at least for the past 2 years. For the past 2 years, it's just been what Rodgers wanted, and that's Hackett.
Yep. Yeah.
I really don't think he had a single word that was actually listened to for the offense.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. And really, and it's like baffling. It's like you spend all this time game planning defensively and like studying defense. Like, studying what makes an offense so difficult to stop and trying to find ways to stop it. Like, how do you not able to like kind of apply that to the other side of the football?
Yeah.
Which is something that you should be able to do if you are the head coach of a team. You're
100%. I 1000% agree with you there. But who, like, I'm certain he didn't have shit to do with the offense, but who are replacing him? Are we getting someone offensive minded? Are we going to put Albrecht back to
who
defensive
says
coordinator?
the duty is done already? Who says the duty's done?
For who? For who?
We're fixing the offense.
Oh no! I think our offense should be top 15 offense. Top 15.
Well, get rid of that fucking offensive line coach and the quarterback coach.
The offensive the offensive staff needs a complete overhaul. I don't know, like, and at this point, like, it doesn't really matter how Rodgers feels, because Rodgers, he might not be fully healthy, but he is playing, and the offense still looks like shit. And
yep,
a lot of that.
The only issue is
too. But
are we still thinking this is a playoff / Super Bowl season?
Not a Super Bowl season. I think
then
playoffs are still.
Then fuck the playoffs. If it's not a Super Bowl season, fuck the playoffs.
I would agree with you if we weren't in like a 14-year playoff drought.
I don't care. I'd rather lose every single game
when you have a 40-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, I'd rather lose every single game so we can draft a quarterback. I don't know, Mo. You know better than I do. Any college quarterbacks coming into the
I just said they ain't no fuck the playoffs if you have a 40-year-old quarterback.
Well, we need a young quarterback.
You know what I just realized? Justin is the Black Joe from Clark.
From Clark? I don't know who that is.
Joe from Clark.
That shit is so fucking funny.
Joey from Clark.
Oh my god!
He's the guy who calls. He's the guy who calls him the WFAN. And,
on the radio? Shit, I haven't listened to the radio in ages.
Actually, Justin's not really Joe from Clark, because Joe from Clark is like super negative about everything. Like,
but he's a Mets fan, so they're gonna be friends.
Yeah, my teams are bad. I'm positive about my teams, though.
Oh yeah, no. Joe from Clark knows his teams are bad, and he revels in the misery. He's just like,
hell no.
So there's people on Twitter that like, there are people on Twitter, and like Joe from Clark's a perfect example of this. And I don't want to give Joe from Clark too much airtime, but
you don't have to. You don't have to. Just keep moving on. Just move on.
He's the type of person, like, if the Mets are like losing and like fucking up, he'll be tweeting nonstop, like rage tweeting, and then the second they start doing well, like he goes silent.
Oh, fuck out of here! No. You see, I would talk shit when they're doing terrible, and I would look. This is if I had a fucking Twitter, I'd be fucking praising them when they're doing well.
That's why I said you're the Black Joe from Clark, not the white Joe from Clark.
I would just keep the shit real. Fuck out of here. The Mets look like they fucking suck sometimes. Other times they look amazing.
Well, white Italian Joe from Clark does not he does not do the shit talk when his teams are doing well. But yeah, there's a reason why the man's wife left him. Anyway. Anyway, moving on.
Back to Salah. Back to Salah and the goddamn stupid ass Jets.
No, we're done with Salah right now.
All right.
We're trying to figure out what is Ulbrich gonna do?
Nothing. The offense is gonna remain the same. Defense might have some changes.
That's the stupidest shit you could ever do. That's the stupidest shit you could ever do. But you just became the interim head coach.
Yeah.
And then you don't have him progressing anything that Salah wasn't doing.
Okay, no. You see, that's the issue. If Ulbrich wants to make changes, right, he's got to go through Aaron Rodgers.
But if Ulbrich also wants to make changes, people need to realize he actually played in the NFL.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying Ulbrich can't make the offense better. I'm saying Rodgers won't want to do it.
But I told Hecker this earlier. If you were here, I said, all right, clearly we need to revamp the offense. Talk to Hackett. Talk to offensive line coach. What's his name? Keith Carter and Todd Downing. What do you need? What do we need now? What do we need to improve on? If he was a good head coach, that's what he would do.
But I think where we need to improve is just the play calling. The fucking play calling is terrible.
Yeah,
Didn't they just say they took Hackett off of play call?
creative.
Yeah, I don't think Hackett's ever been to the play caller. Hackett would say he wants this done. Then Rodgers is like, oh, green 45, blue 32, hut. I'm going to change the entire goddamn play because I don't want to do this.
It's actually green 19 and blue 48.
Blue 58.
All I'm saying is the offense has been run through Aaron Rodgers.
It's stickers, and then it's wolf.
But honestly, what change do you think Ulbrich will bring to Aaron?
Dude,
do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to listen to him?
Dude, in a week, no.
So what does Ulbrich have to do for Aaron Rodgers to listen to him?
What Ulbrich has to do is just put in positivity into all the players. Motivate the team. That's what he needs to do. As a head coach, that's what you're supposed to do.
That is literally what Saleh's been doing.
He hasn't.
We're just saying he's a cheerleader. That's what cheerleaders do.
For the defense. That's it.
For the offense too, buddy. He just got tired of being a cheerleader for the offense because the offense doesn't listen.
He got tired of being the cheerleader for the offense because the offense sucks ass because Nathaniel Hackett sucks.
You keep putting on Hackett. I'm putting on Rodgers. I'm putting it 100% on Rodgers.
Yeah, you can put it on.
Yeah, but some of the blame, but are you going to
this is starting from last year.
Are you going to bench Aaron Rodgers?
You can't fire or bench Aaron Rodgers.
Get rid of Rodgers then. Get rid of Rodgers.
Right? What can you change?
You can't. You can't change anything. That's what I'm saying. This season's done. I'd rather lose every single game for the rest of the season than win one and not make it to the Super Bowl.
You could at least change the play caller.
This conversation.
It's both play caller. How are you going to change the play caller when Aaron comes in and changes the play on you?
It doesn't matter. He's just a figurehead. He's just sitting there.
He's going to audible.
They're a package deal. They're
100% a package deal. 100%, I agree. But even if Hackett calls a play that Rodgers doesn't want to run, what will Rodgers do?
He might.
You tell me.
But maybe
he's going to audible. He's going to audible because
you have But maybe if you give someone else on the staff more of a say or more responsibility, maybe they can draw up more creative plays.
So creativity on the Jets?
Yeah,
that's new.
Yeah, I know that's a crazy concept, but they got to try. Really, what they're doing hasn't been working, so they gotta make some sort of a change. And if you're the interim head coach now, you have a 12-game audition to get other potential jobs or to get re-upped with the Jets as a permanent head coach. Which I think for Ulbrich, if he's going to be a head coach. Because okay,
Justin, do you think Saleh would have been here at the end of the year?
Yeah, if we didn't play in London, yeah,
we did.
Well, there's also the Lebanese flag conspiracy that.
Fuck all that! I'm not talking about that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And that's Joe Benigno talking, by the way. All right. Let's say, yeah. All right. Let's go by your theory. We didn't play in London, and let's say we beat the Broncos. What do you still have the same winning percentage or winning record that you had predicted before?
Yeah, 100%.
So it was basically one game that just destroyed everything.
Not well.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little more complicated than that. It's not just one game. It's a pattern of shit. But
So you're telling me
this
next
game,
year, if Rodgers decided to retire, you'd keep Salah again?
Fuck no.
I mean, I would because I would only because I wouldn't say.
And this is
say
the
if we
dumb
won
fucking shit I'm talking about.
No. If we won the Super Bowl, I'd keep him just because. What's the point of firing him?
We just told you. He don't like to hold anybody accountable. This motherfucker's a cheerleader on the sideline. He doesn't like to change anything. And he always wants to figure it out. After every post game, he says the same exact thing. Does he figure it out? Never. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey. I understand the angst. I understand why people don't like him.
Clearly, the motherfucker don't know how to do shit. He looks like he's in over his head. Clearly, is he not?
Offensively, yes, 100%.
No, as a head coach, yes.
No, because as a head coach, I don't think he had issues with his other duties other than running the offense. I think running the offense. I think he was a terrible offensive manager of whatever the fuck you want to call it, because he's not the coordinator. He had a terrible offensive mindset, and honestly, it doesn't make sense because he actually knows what he's talking about on defense. But to say I'd get rid of him for that, he could have hired an actual offensive coordinator, and we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, guess what? They decided to get Aaron Rodgers, not an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, they put.
That's what I'm saying. That's not on Salah.
What do you mean?
It wasn't his final decision. He agreed. Yeah.
Was he part of it?
He was a part of it. Yes.
Okay.
All right. My bad. It's not only on Salah. That's on JD.
So Joe Douglas.
That's on JD as well, and Woody.
Douglas,
and Woody. So I think JD should be the next one getting fired.
Yes, I was just about to ask you, and I agree.
Oh, okay. So what? So you fire Joe Douglas right now?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Fire him right now.
And then what's that going to do?
Nothing. Just like firing Salah did. Nothing.
We don't know that yet. To be fair, we still have to see. Like, listen, I'm not expecting major changes on to the offense either. And I think a big part of it is also that the offense just kind of needs. I
get your anger, but still, you're firing Joe Douglas does absolutely nothing because he can't do anything.
I've been saying that for I don't know how long,
and gets off to faster starts with a new head coach, and maybe the team just with a new voice in general. I mean, how many times it doesn't necessarily work that much in football, but how many times have we seen in like baseball or hockey where they fire a coach or a manager mid-season, and then the team goes on a run? It happened with the Penguins. Sometimes just a new voice kind of just lights a fire under everyone.
This is not hockey or baseball. This is football. How many times does that shit happen?
But it would. I don't know if it's happened in football.
The only time it's happened was when John Gruden got fired, and they actually made the playoffs.
That's because they got to race us out of the locker room.
It's happened like two other times. It happened once in like the 80s with like the Chargers. And it happened
Superchargers.
But this was the most recent. The 80s, the football's different now.
Yes, I'm aware, but we're talking about history and how many times this happened.
I think
that's fine.
I think the Pats fired Bill Belichick during the season. They might have had a better season.
Remember when we fired the GM during a retarded ass time
after the draft?
Yeah, how did that
But
work?
what's
And
the
then
point
it
of?
just
All right, are we
over.
keeping JD? Are we keeping JD for the draft
I
picks that
don't.
he's going to make next season and next off season? Is that the reason we're
What the
keeping him?
fuck you want me to tell you? What do you
It's
want me to tell you?
TBD. We're keeping
Give
JD.
me a reason to keep JD as
I'll give
general
you the
manager
reason
right now.
I'm
I'll
not
give you
giving
the
you
reason right
shit
now.
to keep
Everybody shut the
JD.
fuck up. I'll give you the reason right now. The
All
reason
right.
we're keeping Joe Douglas is because the trade deadline is in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
And we still have moves to make.
We do
And
have moves to make. You're right. You're right.
Going to bring a new GM in like week 8 or whatever to make those
Yeah.
moves. So you keep JD till the end of the season, and if the roster that is as talented as everyone says it is, if they achieve to their potential and they go to the playoffs and fuck around and win a game or two, then you could say, all right, Joe Douglas, like you built a playoff team, you get to keep your job. If not, then you can assess that at the end of the season. You can fire him on January 9th or whatever, and then you hire a new one and you start all the way the fuck over.
That's fair.
And that point,
That's
I'm
fair.
fine with. But
That's
Justin
fair.
wants to fire him now.
Yep.
That was my point. What's the point of firing him now? None.
No, because I didn't see a point of keeping him, but Hecker did make good points. I'll agree. Keep him.
Yeah, I mean, I think you keep him for now.
That's all it took. That's all it took for him to just say that.
I
You
needed
can think
good
about that
points.
shit
I needed good
yourself.
points. That's about it. Hey, he made a good argument. He made a good argument. I'm conceding my fucking my choice of firing him.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we might get to the end of the season, or we might get to a certain point where I heel turn and I say get him out too. But I think
that's a possibility. But you put an upside to keep him in, especially with the trade block. I wasn't thinking about the trade block, trade deadline rather.
Begging.
Yeah, we might get
for Hassan Reddick to come back.
Look, if Hassan Reddick even plays this season, I think that's enough that Woody will just be like, all right, yeah, keep your job.
Well, I mean, Woody Johnson was like, what's his name on Don't Be a Menace with the cheeseburgers.
I got these cheeseburgers.
I got Hassan Reddick, man.
I got these cheeseburgers.
That's basically what Woody Johnson was saying on his like conference call today. He was like, "Yeah, big I-95 up here. I got these cheeseburgers, man. We'll escort you into the building. The same security guards that escorted Saleh out will escort you in. And these players,
that's exactly what he said.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, whatever. I don't give
but
a fuck
it like realistically, what are y'all projecting the rest of the fucking season to look like?
Dick.
Are we gonna hire a head coach during the season?
No, it's gonna be Ulbrich for the rest of the year. They're not gonna.
So we got another defensive-minded coach.
Did you even know that Ulbrich was the head coach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to make sure because I know you're not up to date on anything.
Yeah, no. I'm usually not up to date. You're right about that.
You know what? I actually found out that you're the one that told me Saleh got fired.
Same here. Yeah, I turned on my phone and.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I turned on my phone the first day.
And then what was crazy was I turned on the TV at my job and I was like, all I saw on ESPN was Jets fire Saleh. I'm like, holy shit, it's true.
Normally, I'm the last one.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Not gonna lie, I heard the news from Charlie, and I was like, no fucking way.
Then it must have been a good 15 minutes in there.
Shit's wild.
Right,
I honestly.
All right, I have a fantasy football question real quick.
Uh-oh.
And I don't want to make it long, but my team
the
name
answer is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay, well, I don't have him. So I was concerned about my team name, and I'm in first place. And my name is Chicken Caesar Saleh.
Oh, you got to change it now. You got to change it.
You're in first.
I mean, well,
You can't
fuck.
fuck with them.
Yeah, I'm the only one that's 4-1.
Don't matter.
Did you win?
I-
Did
I-
you win this past week?
I just won this past week. Yeah, I'm two.
Shit.
I won.
I'd be number one in
yeah.
my dynasty league right now if I didn't fuck up the first week.
All my fantasy teams stink.
Should I change it to
I'm 0-5 in the other
Caesar
league because
over?
I have injuries out the fucking wazoo.
That's not a dynasty.
Or should I?
That's not a dynasty. The dynasty.
That's unfortunate.
No, my dynasty league, I thought I was rebuilding. Then Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones want to fucking revamp their fucking season.
Yeah.
Mike
Those are,
Evans all of a sudden is
10
another.
running backs in the league right now.
Yeah. I'm like, what's going on? All right, now I'm competing. And I could be number one if I played Tyler Lockett over DeAndre Hopkins, which I meant to
If I
do,
lose,
but
then I'll change it.
I forgot. That's on me.
Mhm.
All right. Anyways, if I lose this week,
Yeah,
then
you got to change the name though.
If you lose, then
You can't have Salah in your
I
name.
gotta change it now.
Another week for
You got it. You got it now. You got it.
I mean, greater question. And me and Mo were kind of just. I was thinking about this earlier, and me and Mo were kind of discussing.
Yeah, we're talking
before
about
we went on air.
the podcast name.
What do we do because for our podcast name?
You're right about that. We can't go with all gas, no break anymore.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's more of an off-season discussion. I don't see a need to change rebrand in season, but
yeah,
a lot of people still know us as 4th and 20. We could just go back.
Hey man, I
told him do Jets on 4th and 20 because most people are going to search Jets
for SEO purposes.
I truly liked 4th and 20, but that was with the idea that that's the situation we fucking end up in.
Well, nothing really changed either. Like, how many 4th and 20s have we seen under Robert Saleh? I've seen.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
But I'm hoping that fucking changes.
Well, it's not going to change the podcast.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Unless you want to make it like a generic Jets podcast, we could do that too.
I don't want to be generic. I like being us, and the fact that we're not like the other Jets content creators or podcasts, and that we do and say whatever we want.
Is that
right?
I think that's what makes us. That's what makes us on brand.
I gave 5 minutes of cutout. Fuck, nigga, shit, cunt.
Here we go.
Here we go. Anywho.
Here we go.
Anywho,
man, here we go.
My bad. My bad.
No, it wasn't your bad. You did that shit on purpose.
Oh man,
we're playing Buffalo Monday.
Yeah,
home at MetLife.
Huge game.
Yeah, despite how much despite how much shit despite how much of a shit sandwich these past few weeks have been, we have a chance to get first place in the AFC East with a win on Monday.
Yeah,
which is insane. Sad.
Yeah,
sad.
It's more of
and I was telling Hecker this earlier. I was like
on the AFC East and the AFC as a whole. That
dude,
we're like,
I was and I was telling him how like people would always like, especially like big media networks, they would always say like, "Oh, AFC stacked." Well, look at the NFC; they're more stacked than the AFC.
Way more stacked.
I don't know. I'd argue against that. I'd argue against it. The AFC looks competitive as shit because a lot of the AFC teams are looking like shit.
It makes it's like competitively balanced, but the narrative was, there's too many teams, like there's going to be a really good team that like doesn't make the playoffs. Like they're the Jets won't make the playoffs because there's too many good teams in the AFC. When a lot of those teams,
they're fucking up.
Teams that they were talking about are not doing well. So
still, and that's to our benefit.
It's still there for it's to our benefit, and it works in our favor that this conference and this division are like a lot more mid than we went into the season expecting. And here we find ourselves with an opportunity to beat the Buffalo Bills and, have
Yeah.
the AFC East. And I mean, we always beat the Bills at home, and we've beaten the Bills at home with Zach Wilson. So, to me, I think this game is a must win. You cannot lose this game.
It's definitely a must win, but the fact that you just brought up that even Zach Wilson beat him at home, I think it's a loss now. Shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see, but it should be an interesting game. I mean, Josh Allen, I think, definitely got concussed, even though they didn't diagnose him with a concussion.
Yeah.
I think someone.
all right.
Get back in the game.
So you had mentioned that before, and this might be the game because the Jets always like to. I'm not going to say it, but it might happen.
You and suck you back in.
No, not that, but towards Josh Allen. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know how I always say he never gets hurt.
Oh, who's their backup? I don't want to see the next fucking Tom Brady come out of here.
I think is it Mitch Trubisky?
Oh yeah, no.
Is it Mitch?
Oh yeah, I think it is Trubisky. Mike White's their third string, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine Mike White comes in and torches?
I do wonder if because Josh Allen, did kind of get banged up a little in that Texans game. I do wonder if they'll elevate Mike White from the practice squad and dress him on Monday.
That would be something I do if I was the fucking coach. I just do that for intimidation. Shit.
Just do that
fuck with people.
Send him out as a captain for the game.
Yeah.
In that game where that ruined our hopes and dreams of 2015, Rex sent Iken and Kampali out as a captain.
Yeah.
And that's why
so
I also think back to year one of Saleh when people were comparing Robert Saleh and Rex Ryan to each other, and Rex got really offended by it. He was like, "Don't ever compare me to Robert Saleh." And then he honestly apologized and backtracked.
And then he started.
He was right. I'd apologize as well. Shit, he was right. Don't compare Rex to Saleh.
Well, no, Rex was the one apologizing.
No, Rex was apologizing.
Rex.
This guy is really smart.
I do the opposite. Fuck out of here. Rex is right.
Because Saleh was basically like, "Oh, well, he knows where I work, so he could come see me." And then I guess they talked about it, and he's like, "I actually really like Robert Saleh after."
Fuck yeah, yeah.
Bro, he threatened to kick your ass.
That's why I could never be on TV. I'm not backing down for anything I say. Fuck out of here. Nonsense. You can tell me I'm wrong. I could be wrong. That's fine. I'm going to say I was wrong about my fucking opinion? No. That's wild. You got to have some conviction. Fuck out of here. I could be completely wrong. I'll accept it. Did Jets win fucking 14 games this season?
They better go on a winning streak.
The Jets can't lose another game if they're going to win 14 games.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can't lose another.
That means Ulbrich is the head coach next year.
You're right. And my prediction's right. And the Jets do go to win 14 games.
He's not going to lose his
our head coach.
He's not going to lose his job.
Good job.
The y'all
going to lose his job.
Shit,
Mr. Judge.
Saleh's just sitting there saying, "They took my job."
He's gonna say, Mr. Judge, how much you pay the new guy? $20. No, too much money. He's no good. He's no good operator.
What he's got to start gambling with Shohei, get some money.
Man.
That way they can force him to sell the team, and we can.
All right.
Yeah, honestly,
let's do
yes.
these picks
Yes,
now,
Woody
please.
needs to sell the goddamn team.
Picks.
I'm ready for picks because
All
Woody talk would take forever.
Week 6, 2024.
That's what she said.
Week 6, 2024 picks. We will start. We'll start with the Thursday night football. We got the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco at home against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, Niners been looking like doo-doo. They're due for a win, but I'm gonna take the Seahawks on that just because of the rivalry.
I'm taking San Fran.
Yeah, I'm taking San Fran too. They just lost to Arizona, and that's a division.
Yeah,
they always play Seahawks real good. So
yeah, and there's desperation will kick in. I think.
Is McCaffrey back?
No, he's not. He's going to be coming back in November.
McCaffrey's
so
career.
Then don't give a fuck. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Stand on it.
Yep. If McCaffrey's back, I'd change. I change in a minute.
I know exactly what you were about to say.
What was I about to say?
You were asking if McCaffrey was back yet.
Yeah, because the nigga is dominant.
They said motherfucker coming back in November.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. But hey,
and I'm still waiting for Pacheco to come back, and I'm still in first place, which is insane.
Yo, you know some dumb shit I did? I picked up fucking Clyde's Allaire, whatever the fuck his name is. Clyde Allard, whatever. I picked him up.
Hilaire.
I picked him up thinking like, oh yeah, he's gonna be starting.
Granted, picked up Juju Smith-Schuster.
Nah. He was. This is the 14-team dynasty league. There's no one available unless they're new. But I picked him up. I was like, oh shit, no one has him. And I was drunk at the time, but then I woke up the next day. I was like, what kind of dumbass shit was this?
There's like 2 or 3. You're like 3 running backs ahead of him.
I could, yeah.
Samaje Perine and
Hunt.
Carson and Well, I said Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt. Samaje Perine and Carson Steele. They'd all see the field before CEH, and it's crazy that when the Chiefs drafted CEH, fucking Jonathan Taylor was available.
Could you imagine they had Taylor?
They might have a perfect season.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, it'd be retarded. I'm sorry, it'd be retarded. Yeah. Like, you don't need anyone else. Taylor,
we don't say
Mahomes,
this word
and
on
Kelsey.
Our podcast.
Oh shit, my bad. I forgot that word's a bad word.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care. Yeah, whatever. It's not like we're monetized or anything anyway.
Yeah, nobody cares. What is
I mean,
I really forgot that's a bad word, man. I say that shit all the time.
Put it on actual TV.
I definitely would. I definitely would.
I gotta tell you, that's a no word.
Yeah. What's his name said it? Broussard. Chris Broussard said that shit.
He said that on actual TV.
Yeah, I was watching that episode and I was like, no.
Oh, you saw that like when it happened.
Yeah, no, actually when it happened, I was watching this shit live and this dude said I was dying. Dying at work.
I got to look it up.
Oh, it's great. Definitely look it up. Because you can see the moment.
What day?
The moment. Oh,
it was like
I think it was last summer.
Year, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like last week.
No. It was a while ago. He still has his job.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I know he does.
everyone kind of let that one go.
Yeah, I gotta say, Nick Wright helped him out,
Fuck
but
Nick
but I agree. Not gonna lie, I enjoy Nick Wright only because his takes are wild.
Ain't nobody cares about
It's
that boner
entertainment.
nose ass nigga.
He's a fucking
Yeah, but like it's like how women watch Real Housewives
that
or
motherfucker's
whatever.
retarded.
like for
It doesn't
tell you that
matter. It
shit.
doesn't matter. He's entertaining. He's entertaining.
No, he's dumb. He just sounds stupid.
he's a dweeb. He's a dweeb who
He's
hates
a
Aaron
fucking
Rodgers
idiot.
and he has an anti-Jets agenda.
He's just a hater.
The man got a tattoo
The
saying
man is a
the Chiefs
dumbass.
were gonna go 17-0 last season.
Well, it's aged.
It's
still alive.
literally the first game they lost.
Yeah. Well,
Come on, man. What's the next game?
Next game, we'll do let's do the London game. We got the Jaguars and the Chicago Bears. The battle of two generational busts.
Yes, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Nah. You can't say two generational busts because Caleb is actually starting to look like a quarterback. I'm not saying it's continuing. I'm just saying he's starting to look like a legit goddamn quarterback. So I'm definitely taking the Bears.
All right. So
that's what I just said.
So that's a
yeah, no. Hacker was saying they're both. Well, actually, both of y'all said they're both bust. Caleb ain't a bust yet. You can't say Caleb's a bust.
I didn't say that.
I said it. I said it.
I know I said it maybe a week or two ago, and I thought so.
I knew Jaden Daniels was going to be a beast. That's why I have their defense up here.
That I never saw coming. That I never saw coming.
First place.
Never saw Jaden Daniels.
I had him as my third string, and guess what? He's starting now.
Yo, with the in my dynasty league with the fourth fucking pick of the goddamn draft, I picked Caleb Williams.
Picked him.
Yeah, I should have picked Jaden Daniels. Hey,
God,
right now I got Lamar and Caleb Williams. I think I'm all right.
Why didn't you ask me?
Why
didn't you ask me? I could have told you I like Jaden Daniels a lot more than Caleb Williams.
I would not have believed you.
Let me know when Caleb Williams does it against the better team. That's
that's fair. That's fair.
So that's a clean sweep for the Chicago Bears. Next, let's do the battle of the DMV. We have the Washington Football Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh no! Fuck! Oh no!
Jaden versus Lamar. This should be
damn.
It's in Baltimore. And
can I plead? Can I plead the fifth?
You could pick a tie, I guess.
No, the fuck you can't.
No, you don't.
This is like Lamar.
No, I'm taking Baltimore.
Obviously, my favorite.
I'm taking Baltimore.
Lamar's my favorite.
I'm taking Baltimore, but the spread 6.5.
Baltimore's.
I think the Commanders
spread 6.5. I'm definitely betting. I'm betting that spread.
Baltimore's the best team in the NFL. I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens. I don't care what anybody says. I'm taking them.
I'm taking the spread on the Redskins.
Okay.
What? Who?
But you're picking the Ravens to win?
Yes.
All right. So
I can't go against my boy, man. I pick him every goddamn week.
Yeah. So we are all in agreement there that the Baltimore Ravens will win. So it's probably going to be the Commanders winning that game.
Especially my bet.
Yeah, especially Justin bets. Let's see what other games here. Let's do. We'll do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans.
Oh, ooh,
No
oh,
Derek
damn.
Carr for
That's a
the
get right game for New Orleans.
Wait, Derek
I
Carr
don't
is
know.
out.
Is Derek
Yeah,
Carr is out?
Yeah, Derek Carr's out for 2 weeks at
Who
least.
the fuck is their
fuck.
quarterback?
You know he fucked me over last night.
Maybe Spencer Rattler.
Nope. That's a loss.
Oh, I like Spencer Rattler.
That's fine.
Let me
That's a
take a
loss.
look. Have they named the starting quarterback?
They had some bullshit quarterback in there yesterday.
All right, if you got Kamara, play that nigga.
No, I
don't. What did it say? He's gonna have minimum 25 carries, probably more.
It doesn't look like the Saints have announced the starting quarterback yet, but
No,
I assume
they
it's
haven't.
gonna be Spencer Rattler. And you know what? I'm gonna pick the Saints.
Really?
I'm with that.
Yep.
I'm with that. I'm with it too. I want to pick
Yellow
the
Wild. Yellow Wild.
Saints. I could get around the Rat Pack. I could do it.
Crazy. I hope they start Taysom Hill.
I don't care. Even if they do, I don't care.
His touches.
Baker Mayfield can suck it.
Yo, wild. Baker Mayfield looks like a legit goddamn quarterback for the past year and a half.
Baker Mayfield's always looked like a legit quarterback.
Now on the Browns, he looked shaky. On the Bucks, he looks legit.
Yeah, Baker
I just said I don't know about that.
But it's a division game. Division games are always weird. I'm taking the Saints at home.
Right. They're at home.
Crazy. That defense really has to fucking live up.
They just lost.
Yeah. And you're saying they're not going to lose to the Bucks? Crazy.
We will see.
They match up good against the Bucks.
Yeah, we'll see. They got no quarterback. We'll see.
All right, the rest of the 1 o'clock games kind of suck. So let's move on to the 4 o'clock games. Let's do the San Diego Superchargers against the Denver Broncos.
Charge.
I believe.
Oh man, damn! I'm taking the Broncos.
I'm taking the Chargers. I think the Broncos' fraudulent run has to come to an end.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it does have to come to an end. I don't think it's the Chargers putting them to the end.
San Diego Superchargers. Go Chargers!
Mo, I hate you for letting me know that exists. Okay, because every time I hear the Chargers, that bullshit goes in my head. That's on you. I hate you for that.
Go Chargers!
I think it's on you for not.
I'm gonna give you the. Did you hear the Arnold Schwarzenegger one? Go Chargers!
No.
Get to the Chargers.
He said, "Go Chargers! Go Chargers!"
Now that's gonna be stuck in my head. Thank you.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, that's just
no. I don't need to hear that shit.
Yeah, you do. You gotta go Chargers, go. The motherfucker sound like he still sound like the Terminator is talking about that shit. Go Chargers, go.
Go Chargers. So me and Mo got the Chargers.
Oh, damn.
Justin's rolling
that shit's loud as fuck.
With Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I'm taking Bo. I'm taking Bo.
In the 4 o'clock slate, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers in Las Vegas playing the Oakland Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Steelers here.
You said Steelers versus Raiders?
Yeah.
Are they keeping Minshew benched?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Because I know they benched him and put Aiden in.
Yeah, because he was playing like ass.
Yeah.
As of as of a day ago, they did not announce one.
Okay. So it's
And
most
there is a
likely
chance-
still
there's a
Minshew.
chance, it looks like there's a chance that Russell Wilson might play.
Nah, stop. If Russell's playing, I'm taking the fucking Raiders.
I think
Russell's
Justin
playing.
Fields is
I might go
gonna play.
to the game.
Why you're gonna be in Vegas?
No, I'm going to the Jets Steelers game.
The Jets,
Oh.
he's saying if he's playing this week, he's playing next week.
Oh, bro, pull up then.
Yo.
Yeah, I was at the Steelers Cowboys game this past week. There till like fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And,
You have to wait
because
through
it
that
started
shit?
like
Damn.
9:50.
Fucking nightmare. Oh.
Yeah.
I was up drinking since 9:30 in the morning to watch the Jets game, and then I went to that game, and then we were stuck in a rain delay.
I was making ribs that morning.
I didn't get home till like 3 a.m. It was awful.
Oh my god!
I would have passed the fuck out.
Yeah, we know.
I almost passed out during the game. Actually, I was like fighting for my life to keep my eyes open at certain points.
Oh no! I would have been on TV sleeping in the rain.
You would have went viral. Yeah, well, they made everyone when it was raining. They made everyone like hang out in like the fucking like concourse because it was really a lightning delay.
Yeah.
For like an hour.
The rain started hitting hard, and I was like, "This is fucking nonsense."
See, when I was waiting for that game to start, I was playing spades.
Tell me you're a nigga.
Without telling me.
I've got I got the Steelers bouncing back and winning this game. I think Justin Fields will play. They'd be stupid.
Better.
They'd be stupid to bench him.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Russell's done. Yeah, retired.
But yeah,
that was your boy. Wasn't that Justin's boy?
On IR.
That was.
He's on IR, but he's still like out there, like in like full pads. He's so corny. I hate him so much.
Yo, he is.
Yeah, no. Russell was my boy way back in the day. Ever since.
Dog, it was so funny when like I forgot who it was that like got into they like caught a ball and got into the sideline, and you could see him like coming up to him like, yeah man. I'm like, this dude corny as fuck.
Corny shit. Corny.
He's trying to be one of the boys. No, man. Yeah, no. Just sit your eyes down.
Corny ass motherfucker. If Russell's not playing, I'm taking the Steelers. If Russell's playing, they're losing.
I think I might agree with Justin right here.
Let's go with the assumption Justin Fields is playing. So, are you taking the Steelers?
Oh yeah, Fields are playing. 100% the Steelers. 100% the Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Justin, which is surprising.
That is surprising.
Steelers, so that means the Raiders are going to win. Let's see. Then we got rounding out the 4:00 games. We have the Detroit Lions at the Dallas Cowboys. I am taking the Lions.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys in that game.
I'm taking the Detroit Lions.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys because the Cowboys know they need to get right.
Yeah, but fuck the Cowboys.
Hey, yeah, I agree. I don't root for them. I'm just saying this is a get right game that they're trying to get right.
Go.
You said that last week, and they did win. They also
did win.
Before. I don't think.
Which
I don't know
that
if the
was
Lions
like
are,
such
I
a
don't know if the
fucking
Lions
shitty
are
win.
necessarily the team you get right against.
But you gotta.
Not this day and age.
You have to. The Lions are a good team. They're just coached improperly.
Now
they're coached very properly. If I mean, I wish we hired Dan Campbell instead of Robert Saleh. I don't know about you guys.
Well, that's different steps
I
of
don't know. Maybe we have our Dan Campbell,
like
Maybe Ulbrich is
but not as crazy.
and
yeah.
Campbell is an offense guy too.
Which is what we need, but
yeah, well,
we're not getting someone offensive minded.
maybe better luck in 2027.
God damn.
Arch Manning. Hey, don't sleep. Do not sleep on Jordan Travis, please.
Yeah, I
Yo,
am
honestly, if Jordan Travis can fucking step up and do work next season, I'd love it. And
Yeah,
that would make
who the fuck would?
JD's fucking job secured.
unless
Dude,
he's
he was
already
about to be a
fired.
Heisman
Unless,
candidate,
yeah.
but
Let's be real. If Jordan Travis is starting next year, that means chances are Rodgers retired, which means chances are the rest of this year didn't go well, which means that Joe
Yep.
Douglas was fired, which
Yep.
means he will not be there to bear the fruits of his labor.
Which is
Jordan
wild because honestly, if he does pan out and our offense
That would actually be like the funniest, most Jets thing ever if the GM that actually drafts their franchise quarterback like got fired before they actually like
had a chance.
I'm rooting for that.
That would be
Well, not really. I want to win this year, or I want to at least go to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, but if that does happen, that is Jets fashion, and I wouldn't be surprised.
It's weird. It's weird enough for the Jets.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got two more games. Sunday Night Football, Cincinnati Bengals at New York Giants. So that MetLife turf is working a double this weekend, and I don't fucking like that because they were working a double the weekend that last weekend when you know what happened. But yeah, Cincinnati at the New York G-Men. I am taking the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals as well because the G-men are just straight doo-doo.
yeah, I'm gonna take lesbian Joe Burrow to win.
That is a clean sweep for the Bengals. So that means that the Giants will win. And last and certainly not least, Monday Night Football. Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets. The New York Jets will be wearing their Heritage Classic, whatever they call them, the uniforms that we all grew up watching them wear. They're going to be wearing those white jerseys. I
got one.
Curtis Martin days, man. Curtis Martin days.
Yep. The Jets are 2.5-point underdogs at home. I'm going to take the New York Jets to win this game.
Yeah. So
I'm taking Jets. I think the Jets will win 24-20.
We got a new fire.
Wait, what's your score? 24 to what?
24-20.
24-20.
I like that score, and I'm agreeing with Hecker.
Same score?
Same.
See, I don't want to pick the Jets.
So don't. I'm penciling you in for the Bills.
Hell no. Hell no.
All right.
Well, who the fuck do you want to pick? You want to pick like impending doom, so both teams lose in the tie or some shit?
I just pick Von Miller. I think the bum now. All right, Jets. My pick Jets to win.
Yeah, I don't think he's been playing.
Jets to win 20. God damn. Nah, fuck 20.
Race to 20.
17-14 Jets.
17-14. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, Jets. The first game of the Jeff Ulbrich era.
Yep. We're going to be defensive minded.
We've all got the win. It'll be defensive minded, but I just hope that the defense can get off to a faster start than Salah's teams do, and I hope that not as many penalties get committed, and that
Yeah,
hopefully the team
the
just plays with
penalties piss me off.
more energy and more juice, and that is what the Jets need in this game. They need to come out flying from the get-go.
Yep.
They need to blitz the fuck out of Josh Allen and make his life hell. And hopefully he turns into Santa Claus like he does, like he tends to do when he comes to MetLife Stadium. Too bad we can't pick up Jordan Whitehead like just for this game.
No shit.
But that will do it. That'll do it for us here today. Our RIP to Robert Saleh. Your life is over as far as your job goes.
Yep.
Enjoy life, enjoy your family, enjoy not having to deal with being a part of this dumpster fire that is Jets football anymore. I'm sure you'll land on your feet somewhere as a defensive coordinator, and you will be paid very handsomely to stay home in the meantime. So that's it for us. I don't know if you guys have any final words for the people. The people.
Final words?
Yes.
Can they just be profanities?
Yeah, whatever.
No, I don't have any final words. I'm all right.
All right. Well, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're following our Twitter and our Instagram. And until next time, unlock the swag.
Swag unlocks.
Unlocks. Peace.